So my name is Michaela. I'm a physical therapy assistant student at Bishop State Community College, and this is Miss June Jones. She's a 20-year-old soccer player, and she underwent ACL reconstruction about 2 weeks ago. We're going to do some exercises to help get her back into recovery and returning to function because she is a soccer player and she's trying to get back to her sport. But first, before we talk about post-operative exercises, we're first going to talk about non-op. So in the non-op phase, the first phase is maximum protection. And what you want to do first, my first exercise is quad set. So I place a towel up under Miss Jones' leg, right up under her knee. And all I want her to do is just focus on pushing down into that towel, holding it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then relaxing. And we're going to do that at 3 sets of 10. Now while Miss Jones is doing that, some athletes or some people that's recovering from an ACL tear or just ACL sprain or wherever it may be, they may not be able to do a quad set, just doing it just like Miss Jones doing now. So we may hook her up to Russian to simulate that quad contraction to help until she gets back to doing it on her own. So Russian would definitely be a modification for quad sets. Okay, so this next exercise is just a progression from quad sets. If they're really, doing well with the quad sets, you can get the patient to stand up and you can place a band around their non-involved leg and get them to do abductions out to the side. And what this is doing is, although yes, you're working the non-involved side, it's placing pressure on the quad that the ACL reconstruction went under, where it was done at. So the patient's really having to stabilize in her right quad and really having to contract it while moving the non-involved leg. Okay, so next exercise is we have it. I'm gonna have to explain to Miss Jones about gait training with her crutches, being that she has to still walk around school and things like that. So I'm going to teach her how to walk on her crutches. So the first thing I want Miss Jones to do, which I should have demonstrated, but the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go crutches, your right leg, and then your left leg. Crutches, right leg, left leg. Crutches, right leg, left leg. And this is just really emphasizing her how to really walk with the crutches. She is weight bearing as tolerated, so she knows not to put, she only put as much pressure as she can take. So the crutches are really helping her with that, and that way she'll be able to navigate around school and everything. Okay, so with the gait training, if they're having problems with ambulating with their crutches or whatever their assistive device is, you always want to go back and start them in the parallel bars. And in the parallel bars, you can do a couple of things. The first thing you can do is call some weight shifts. So just hold on to the bars, weight shifting from right to left, just kind of getting familiar, putting some weight on the leg. You don't want to put too much weight on it if you're in pain or anything like that. And then the next exercise we can do is hold on to the bars. We can step forward. We can step back. So the next exercise that we're going to do are called heel slides. And what heel slides do, they just kind of emphasize that knee flexion, being that she's a little limited in her knee flexion. So this will just really help her increase her range of motion as we go on through the recovery process. So what a heel slide is just picking the knee up, sliding the heel, and coming down. We're going to do that 3 sets of 10, as far as the patient can take it. Now, some patients may not be able to get all the way up there, especially following an ACL injury. So they may only be able to get right here and come back down just as far as they can get. Now, with the heel slides, if they're unable to do a heel slide, just physically on the mat, it may be easier to put a pillowcase or a sheet to help them and assist them to get the heel slide, make the heel slide more efficient. Or also you can grab a strap or a belt if you're at home and put it around their foot and let them pull themselves up into flexion. Okay? Okay, so still talking about heel slides, just kind of thinking about a progression that we could do, just not allowing the patient to do, but you helping the patients, giving some manual resistance. So I'm still allowing the patient to do a heel slide, so go ahead and do a heel slide. I'm gonna put my hand right here on her ankle and just giving her a little push at the end, just giving her some resistance as she goes through this range of motion. So this is a chair slide. So what I want Ms. Jones to do is to put her non-involved leg out, and I want her to just gradually, slowly just push herself up to the front edge of the chair. And this is called a chair slide. It really emphasizing that knee flexion and helping and assisting her with her knee flexion. You can do 3 sets of 10 of this. So the next exercise is single leg raises. So with single leg raises, this is still emphasizing that quad contraction. So I'm going to get Ms. Jones to contract her quad, and I'm going to get her to raise her foot up to the ceiling as far as she can go, and then slowly back down. Now, yes, going up is important, but also her way down is important as well, that eccentric phase. So really, really want to emphasize controlling on the way up and controlling on the way down. Good. Now, progression from this would be, the patient's really good that maybe you can add some resistance, manual resistance, or even maybe like a 1 pound weight to put on their ankle. And they're still doing the same thing, still contracting their quad, lifting their foot up to the ceiling, and slowly back down. Lifting their quad, ceiling, and back down. Good. Okay, so the next exercise, I'm going into the moderate phase of the non-operative. Would be doing mini squats. So I would just tell my patient to get on the side of the plant or the mat, have them use their hands just to kind of balance there, you know, with the instability in their knee. You just want to have them to balance on something. I just want them to do a partial squat. Okay. And you would do 3 sets of 10 of those. Just sitting here doing, and they're called mini squats. Now, a modification for that would be putting them against the wall, just having them more stability and basic support, helping them just get down. So what they would do is they would slide down the wall and back up. Good. Okay, next exercise, we will be doing a progression of mini squats. So what I have done is given Ms. Jones some weight in her hand, not too heavy, about 2 pounds, but we really want to emphasize strengthening those quads, because without quad strength, she won't be able to get down low. She won't be able to explode up and jump, being that she's a soccer player. So we're going to work on some more quad strength. So now we're going to still do mini squats, just with some added resistance in these dumbbell weights, okay? So now, with Ms. Jones holding the dumbbells, we're going to just get her to hold around by her side. And all I want her to do is just squat down and come up. Really just focusing on controlling on the way down and back up. Want those quads nice and strong. Chest up. Don't want to be leaning over. Don't want to be on our toes. Keep going. Okay, and we'll do about 3 sets of 10 of this. And then also, keep going. If you have problems with patients who, you know, may not understand fully about how to do the squat as far as like getting their butt back, you know, putting a chair there kind of emphasizes helping them aim for the chair. Make sure your butt goes back into that chair with the squat. Okay? All right, so the next exercise would be step up. So I'm gonna tell Ms. Jones to go up with her non-involved leg. And then back down with her involved leg. Yeah? And in doing this. If they're still having some instability in their knee, even though we're in the moderate phase, you can have a gait belt on them, just kind of helping them if they get off balance. Also, this is helping Miss Jones ambulate stairs, just giving her idea, being that she's in school and she's having these crutches. So this is helping her ambulate the stairs. All right. Okay, next exercise, we'll be doing a modification of step-ups. You saw in one of the videos that Miss Jones was doing step-ups on a stool. So she was just stepping up to it with her non-involved leg and then stepping down with her involved leg. But this is a modification of step-up, just seeing, emphasizing that floor clearance, because one, she's gonna be on crutches, and then once she gets off crutches, you really wanna emphasize knee flexion to, clear the stairs or clear any obstacles that may be in the way when she's walking or running or anything like that. So this is just a simple modification of step-ups, and you're gonna be doing what's called marching. So she's gonna sit on the bench, hands by her side, and I put a target down there just to kind of tell her this is how high I want her foot to come up, just where that weight is, and back down. And she's gonna alternate legs back and forth. Good. Okay, next exercise that we're gonna do in the moderate protection phase of non-operative is heel raises. So I'm gonna get Miss Jones to step up on this plate, just like this. I want really the balls of her feet to be on the edge, and then her heels are kind of hanging off. And what she's simply gonna do is rise to the top of her toes and then slowly control back down. All right. Really, you want to emphasize pausing at the top and slowly control back down. And we'll do about 3 sets of 10 of this exercise. Okay, next exercise we'll be doing is still heel raises, but it's just a progression of heel raises. So in order to make things harder, you always want to add resistance or add some type of weight, just to challenge the muscles and also to make them stronger. So what I'll have Ms. Jones do is to grab this TheraBand bar. She's gonna put it around her neck. She's gonna stand up with it. And as you can see, it's giving resistance through the green TheraBand. And she's still gonna do the same thing, putting her heels on, they're gonna be off the bar, and her balls of her feet are gonna be on the mat. So now I still want her to do the same thing. Raise to the top, pause, and control on the way back down. Raise to the top, pause, and control on the way back down. Okay. And we'll be doing about 3 sets of 10 of this exercise. Just continue to make those calf muscles stronger. Calf muscles are important, just as important as all her other muscles. She does a lot of kicking. She's a soccer player, so she needs emphasis on strengthening all those other muscles as well. That's around her knee. All right. Okay. Our next exercise is still heel raises, but we're doing a modification of those. So something just easier if they couldn't do a standing heel raise. So something that would be easier than that would just be, I'm gonna get Miss Jones to sit on the edge of the bench, have her feet out in front of her, legs are still at 90, and I just want her to raise up on her toes, hold it for a couple of seconds, then back down. Raise up, hold it, back down. Good. Still the same thing, just really something easier. They need to sit down. Maybe they couldn't do it that day, standing. This would be something easier, still working those.